This is my map of reality, and today I'm going to be explaining this. So, as you can see, there's different hierarchies, with the lowest one being the physical world and the highest one being God. So, we're going to go from the lowest to the highest. So, starting with the physical world, this is everything we can see, everything around us. This is the world of matter. This is where our physical bodies are. This is where we see materials. This is pretty much the visual aspects of our reality, everything we can see. And these things floating around here, those are planets and stars and moons. It's meant to represent the physical cosmos, because that's where this place is, the physical cosmos. The reason it's at the bottom here is because there's so many things in the physical world that are controlled by outside things, which I'll get to explaining soon. But yeah, that's the physical world. Next up, we have the plane of souls, so the souls of living things in the physical world. So our souls, animal souls, souls of sentient things. So why souls are above the physical world is because souls, while the physical world is material, souls are us. We're us, but there are immaterial versions. Our souls are our immaterial selves, and our souls harbor our desires, our wants. Our souls are pretty much like linked, almost psychically linked to our bodies, to our flesh. But the reason why it's higher is because, well, it's physical. Even if our physical body dies and deteriorates, our souls still live on. Just because I may have an injury doesn't mean my soul has an injury, you know? In a way, souls basically kind of describe the nature of the physical world. You know, they kind of explain our behavior, why we are the way we are, because they're linked to our physical selves. So souls are kind of like linked to nature, which is kind of cool to think about. Next up, we have spirits. Spirits consists, by spirits I mean spiritual beings. By spiritual beings I mean angels and demons. And demons are just fallen angels, and that's the symbol for angels, and that's the symbol for demons, which I drew around. But let me get to it. So the Bible describes angels as being immaterial. While yes, there have been instances where people have talked to angels, it's not that angels have bodies like us and have our physical limitations. Angels can create forms for themselves if they want to interact with us. But really, they're really just immaterial creatures. Like, we are restricted to physics, the physical world. We can't go in and out of physicality like angels and demons can. And just generally, they're very different from us. You know, they don't... Like, angels and demons, they can't die. They can't give birth like us, but they also can't die. They're very different from us, and they're higher than us. They can be like us if they want to and be physical, but they can also not, because they're naturally immaterial and metaphysical, which puts them higher than us, and which puts them higher than our souls, because while they probably have desires, they don't. Our souls are very strongly linked to our physical selves. So that's why angels and demons and spiritual beings are above us. Next up, we have abstracts. It's going to be a really cool one to explain. But basically, abstracts are things like emotions, ideas, numbers. So, for example, the number 1, you can't... So you can kill people, but you can't kill the number 1. If I was to erase this number right now, that wouldn't mean I'm getting rid of the number 1. There's still a true form of 1, which is a concept that we use to understand reality, that we cannot get rid of because it's an idea. It's metaphysical. It's immaterial. We can't kill it. We can't get rid of it. We use not just one. We use numbers to measure and understand the flow of time and whatnot. Such is the case with all of these, like love. Just because two people fall out of love doesn't mean love doesn't exist anymore. And then I drew Pac-Man there because Pac-Man is like a video game. Even fiction, stories, fictional worlds, fictional characters. Technically, they exist more than us because they are ideas. Even if we get rid of every Pac-Man game, Pac-Man, that doesn't get rid of the character Pac-Man himself, because the idea still exists, which we now can't get rid of. Such is the case with all of these, which is why abstracts they're high on the list. They're very high on the list because of this. They control our reality, even the desires of our souls, like things we desire. Like just the idea of desire itself, it's an abstract concept. It's an abstract, which is why these are very important in everything that comes below. Even the angels and demons, like some angels rebelled against God. Rebellion, that's an abstract concept. That's an abstract idea. So abstracts are very important in just our reality in general. And then last but not least, we have God, the source, the start of everything. He's the one who created all of this, the one who created these whole cosmos and this whole reality. He's the first mover, I guess you could say. I like to use the analogy of a video game, or more specifically, a programmer designing like a video game or a simulation. So it's like God's the programmer, so he wanted to make a simulation. He wanted this simulation to have kind of ground rules. He wanted things to be able to help control it. So those ground rules he put for those simulation are abstracts. Things like love. Those are things that kind of make up our souls and those are our desires and stuff. So the abstracts are basically kind of like the main source code for reality, because God wanted to make ground rules for his simulation. Of course, if he wanted it to work, there had to be like rules, a certain set of rules. That's these abstracts. And from that, as we go down, you can see everything under that is, a result of this. Everything under that is, these are like the ground rules. If you don't have this, then our realities can't work. And if you go down to the physical world, it's like a video game. In the video game, what we see is this part, the physical world. But what we don't see is all of the code that was used to make this game. That's what this is, all of the code and stuff. But what we see in the video game, just like in reality, what we see is the physical world. Which is why these are essential. Without these, this wouldn't work. Without the source code for the video game, the game wouldn't work. And the developer is God, the source, the start of it all. And that is my map of the cosmos. Hope this was interesting to you. Feel free to leave your opinions, and yeah, thanks for watching. This is actually a very interesting topic, and yeah, this was fun. I enjoy doing this. Thanks for watching.